What if the first humans weren't simply punished, but chosen for something greater? Stay until the end, because what you think you know about Adam and Eve is only half the story. Miss this, and you'll never see humanity the same way again. In the beginning, before time had a name, there was nothing. No light, no sound, no form. Only the breath of God hovering over a vast and endless deep. Then, with a single word, "Let there be light," the universe ignited. Galaxies spun like sparks across eternity. The oceans stirred, mountains rose, the air shimmered with life. On the sixth day, when creation neared perfection, God knelt upon the earth. From the dust, he shaped a figure, a body of clay. Then he leaned close and breathed into it his own breath. The clay trembled, then came alive. Adam opened his eyes. His first sight was beauty itself. Eden, the garden of God. The rivers sparkled like glass. Every color was pure. The air sang with the sound of life. God gave Adam a purpose, to care for creation, to name the creatures of the earth, to walk with him in perfect harmony. The lion bowed before him, the eagle circled high above. Yet among all these wonders there was one rule, one boundary. "You may freely eat of every tree in the garden," God said, "but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day you eat of it, you will surely die." Why forbid knowledge? Was it protection or a test? That question has haunted humanity since the dawn of time. But in that moment, Adam trusted. He obeyed. Still, something was missing. God saw that it was not good for man to be alone, so he caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep. From his side he took one rib, and from that rib he formed a woman. When Adam awoke and saw her, he whispered in awe, "Bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh." Her name was Eve. Together they walked through Eden, hand in hand, clothed only in innocence. There was no pain, no fear, no shame. They were one with each other and one with God. But in the shadows of the trees, something watched. Something waited. A serpent, subtle and silent, coiled among the branches of the forbidden tree. Its eyes glimmered with knowledge both ancient and cruel. When Eve came near, the serpent spoke. "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" Eve hesitated. "We may eat from the trees," she said. "But from the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden, we must not eat or even touch it, or we will die." The serpent's voice dripped with temptation. "You will not surely die. God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened. You will be like God, knowing good and evil." The fruit shimmered in the light, beautiful and strange. Eve felt the pull of curiosity, the longing to understand what had been kept from her. Was God holding something back? Was there more beyond perfection? She reached out. Her hand trembled. Then she took it. The first bite was quiet, but it echoed through eternity. Adam watched her, torn between fear and love. Then he too reached out and ate. And in that instant, the world changed. Their eyes opened. They saw themselves, and shame was born. They realized they were naked and scrambled to cover themselves with leaves. The air that once felt warm and alive now seemed heavy with sorrow. When they heard the sound of God walking in the garden, they hid among the trees. "Adam, where are you?" God called. It wasn't a cry of anger, it was heartbreak. "I heard you in the garden," Adam replied. "And I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." "Who told you that you were naked?" God asked. "Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam pointed to Eve. "The woman you gave me, she gave me the fruit, and I ate." And Eve said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." Then came the consequence. God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all animals. You will crawl on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life." And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. To the woman, he said, I will greatly increase your pain in childbirth. In sorrow you will bring forth children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. And to the man, because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree, cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat of it all the days of your life. By the sweat of your brow you will eat bread until you return to the dust. For dust you are, and to dust you shall return. The garden began to fade. The sky grew dim. The rivers seemed to mourn. Yet even in judgment there was mercy. God clothed Adam and Eve with garments made of skin, a gesture of love, even as he sent them away. At the edge of Eden, flaming swords of light blocked the way back. Cherubim stood guard, their brilliance piercing the sky. Adam and Eve looked once more upon the paradise they had lost. Then they stepped into a new world, one marked by pain, labor, and death, but also by hope. They built shelter. They learned to sow and reap. They bore children, Cain, Abel, and others. They taught them to pray, to build, to remember the Creator who still watched over them. And though the gates of Eden were closed, God's promise remained. A Redeemer would come. One born of a woman who would crush the serpent's head and restore what was lost. As years turned to centuries, their story became ours. Because Adam and Eve are not just the first humans, they are every one of us. We face the same choices: trust or doubt, obedience or pride, love or self. What did humanity truly gain that day? Knowledge of good and evil, yes, but also the power to choose, to rise, to seek redemption. Without the fall, there could be no grace. Without disobedience, there could be no forgiveness. The story of Adam and Eve is not just about failure. It's about freedom. And so the question remains, was it tragedy or destiny? From that one act of defiance began the greatest story ever told, the story of salvation, a story that would one day lead to a cross on a hill where the curse of Eden would be undone. Even today, people search for the Garden of Eden. Some say it was in Mesopotamia, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Others claim it was symbolic, a spiritual place, not a physical one. But maybe Eden isn't lost at all. Maybe it still exists within us. Every time we choose good over evil, love over pride, faith over fear. Adam and Eve remind us that every choice creates a world. Every act of trust or betrayal shapes the story of humanity. And perhaps God knew from the very beginning that to truly love Him, we had to choose Him freely. So the question isn't why they fell, it's whether we'll rise. If this story opened your eyes, share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think Eden really was? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the link on your screen to watch the next extraordinary story from the Bible. Because the secrets of Genesis are only the beginning.